Hey everyone, this is Lindsay with Be Well Rebellion, and I want to talk about feminine rage and its role in birthing a new world. Um, I think it's all kind of coming to light now that this is a feminine plane. It used to be, I think, all women or something like that, and then it was infiltrated by what amounts to a rogue patriarchal energy. Now, that rogue patriarchal energy can come through males and females. Um, but I would say it affects the males population the most. And I say male and female specifically because I do not think they are the same species as men and women, but I digress. So, the trauma inflicted on the collective seems to have come from a rogue patriarchal energy. Now, if that's the case, and you want to consider trauma healing in terms of creating new neural pathways and establishing new patterns, then it's very, very important that we hold space for the divine masculine to step in. Um, Feminine rage is warranted in order to kind of start moving the chi, right? That's the catalyst. Um, that's the catalyst to the movement of the energy, right? She's a pattern recognizer and she's screaming no, like this is not okay. So, um, that's not a place to land on. Feminine rage is not is supposed to get the wheels turning, but it's not supposed to drive the bus, so to speak. So it's important that women specifically open themselves up to the divine masculine energy and allow it to influence the trajectory of events. It cannot just manifest as women getting pissed off and going and creating communities for women and children and just completely leaving, the male, the whole masculine demographic out of it. That's not really how it's going to be because we are not Thunder Sisters anymore. We are a collective of both men and women, ordained men and ordained women, and both have a role to play in birthing this new world. In fact, there's a concept called hieros gamos, and that is the Greek word for the concept of the divine union of a god and a priestess. Notice it's not god and goddess, it's god and a priestess. So you've got the priestess, the muse, the pattern recognizer, the one whose prayers are heard, and you've got the gods, the builders. So, you need that masculine energy. You need masculine energy. If you think about the fact that this place has been traumatized by a rogue patriarchal energy, it's only going to be a divine patriarchal energy, a divine masculine energy that's going to be the antidote. And the divine feminine energy is going to play the role of pattern recognition so we can hone this walk together. But you have to realize, like, you cannot let feminine rage lead the way. It's just not going to be it's not going to be a balanced response. It's not going to be birthing an antidote that is going to really cover all the bases. It just won't. Um, and as women, like specifically single women, we have to stay in our feminine energy. That's super important. I mean, because you are not going to birth worlds with your womb magic. Um, you're not going to create the highest timeline for yourself if you are operating in a trauma response pattern. And feminine rage is a trauma response, is it not? So we have to be willing to trust, and I know that's really hard because I myself, like, I deal with a lot of like weird masculine energy from males. Like some of it feels predatory, some of it feels like they want to feed on you. So you have to use discernment. But if you have like positive men in your life, like your dad, your um, brothers, your friends, your teachers, your neighbors, whoever that you're blessed with, you have to be open to their influence and their help and their guidance and um, their kindness and whatnot. And you have to extract what you can from those experiences so that you can stay grounded in your femininity instead of thinking that you are ready to burn the whole fucking place down, which is valid. I'm not saying that it's not valid. There's definitely it's needed that feminine rage is absolutely needed. But it's really, really important that we recognize that birthing a new world, this is a world with ordained men and ordained women, and birthing a new world is going to take efforts on both parties. And we don't want to see like the collective pendulum go from a rogue patriarchal energy to an enraged feminine energy. I just, that's not, that's not the way. It's just not. But it takes a lot of discernment. It takes a lot of protection. Protect your wombs. Don't give access to predators. Protect your wombs, because your feelings, your emotional state really does move mountains. And so you have to try to stay as regulated as you can, which means you create a safe environment for yourself, or you partner up with somebody that's safe. You know, ideally with the concept of Hieros Gamos, it would be a partnership. But not all of us are enjoying a partnership, because a lot of us have recognized that we weren't in a healthy partnership before. So now we are single, and that's okay. But recognize you're not really in your highest power and your highest potential if you are single. Men need women, that's for sure. And women, whether we like to admit it or not, like, it's better with a healthy man. So if you don't have, you know, that partnership on a regular basis, if you're not in a partnership, just make sure that you are open to, just make sure that that feminine rage is not stifling your direct experience and cutting you off from the love that like the men in your life can show you. Like, I'm not in a partnership, but I've had a lot of like intellectual stimulation from my friends that are men, and a lot of great guidance from them when I've asked for it. I have had help in heavy lifting and building, and you know, you have to be open to it. And it doesn't always have to be sexual, but that kind of union of male and of masculine and feminine energy is what will birth the world that is the actual antidote to what it is that we're experiencing now. And if you do get to enjoy like the partnership on like a sexual level too, that's just even better. I mean, that's it creates like a closed circuit of the vibration of love and creation, and it just moves outward. And so I hope that if you have that, you nurture it. And yeah, I mean, it's just really important that men and women come together right now. And I would hate to see that rogue patriarchal energy be replaced with feminine rage energy, because that's also detrimental. I mean, look at Cali, look at the effect. Like, that's destruction also. And that's how a lot of women feel sometimes. I mean, like, I've wanted to definitely burn the world down too, but that was out of a place of feminine rage. That I wasn't wanting to birth a new world out of a place of feminine rage. I had to regulate and integrate that, and then revisit how I felt about men by subjecting myself to some situations I knew would be safe, with men that I knew would be safe to talk to or whatever. You know, like, I had to rewire my neural pathways and re-regulate my nervous system before I could even begin to consider using like my womb magic to influence my life or the lives of the people that I engage with. So be accountable, and you have to integrate the feminine rage, but you cannot let it drive the bus. And you have to recognize too that just because there are a lot of predators out there, it doesn't mean that all men are bad. They're not. There's some really wonderful men. And by the way, if you are one of the ones that have been in my life that, like taught me things or talked to me about things that I knew but maybe couldn't articulate, like, I will always keep you in my prayers. Like, you have, like, an angel looking out for you because I really appreciate it. And that was healing for me, and that was necessary. Um, so so I hope that you guys stay grounded and internalize the concept of the potential for the incredible existence that we can birth together if men and women really do open their hearts and embody those energies, because it's worth it and it's necessary and it's kind of the only way out. So, anyway, much love.